friends, and welcome back to Movies, Munchies, and Moscato. I am Rhonda.
And I am Rochelle.
We're just a couple of friends who love movies, television, and wine. So if that is something that interests you, please stick around and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And now it's time for movie and TV news and pulp culture discussion. So first up, Daisy Ridley will return as Rey in one of 3 new Star Wars movies that will be coming out. These will be set 15 years after the last movie, The Rise of Skywalker, which I still have not seen.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll have to get on that to see it.
Yes, I actually liked it.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I figured most of the time with those, it seems like the third one ends up being the better one.
Right.
In the Star Wars trilogies. So I do need to watch that. But that's cool. They're going to reboot them, as it were. Eric Dane has been cast as the villain in Bad Boys 4. Eric Dane last was seen in HBO's Euphoria. But that's cool. I best know him from Grey's Anatomy as McSteamy was his nickname on there.
Oh,
they called him McSteamy, whereas the other one was McDreamy. Yeah, I thought that was so funny. Anyway, HBO Max is developing a Conjuring series. So the series will be based off the movies, but instead of horror, it will make it a drama series.
But isn't it still the Warrens?
It is still the Warrens. It's just like I said, they're instead of making it a horror based series, it'll be focusing on drama, which I find weird.
Yeah, how are they not? Well, horror to me that means
to me that tells me they're not going to do any type of jump scare type of stuff. To me, they're just going to make it dramatic, maybe based off their marriage, maybe and what they do is kind of a background character. Maybe that's the point of it.
Or because it's based on paranormal stuff. They did this in the 70s for years up until he died. So it may be that, but not maybe on one demon. Do you know what I mean? So it could be the story of maybe how they got started in, the paranormal psychology and that type of thing. Because they did speak at universities and stuff like that. So,
yeah, if they just focus on that and maybe not show them actually trying to help out, as it were, maybe it would cut away, when those instances would happen.
Well, if that's the case, I'm not watching it. You can't have the Warrens without paranormal stuff, so this will be interesting.
We'll see. No word on casting. I'm assuming they may go younger, so it would be different people in these roles, so I guess we'll see. And speaking of HBO Max, on May 23rd, HBO Max will be rebranded as just Max. They feel that HBO is an old school thing, which it is. I remember that back when I was in high school.
Well, that's when it first came out. When cable first came out, HBO was the first, you know, movie.
Yeah, I think it still works, but that's fine if they think Max just is cooler.
The new wave. Silly because HBO it's a brand,
Yeah, I don't know, it's weird to me, but
me too.
Just so you know, so after that, we'll just be referring to that as Max. Just keep that in mind if you're like, what are they talking about?
Right.
So Graham McTavish will not be in season 2 of House of the Dragon as Sir Harold the Knight, but he will be in the upcoming season 7 of Outlander. Remember, he played Jamie's uncle. Forgot his name. Sorry, the uncle's name.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen him in a while. We just haven't seen him in a while. So that's cool. Back on Outlander. But yes, you will not see him again in House of the Dragon. For those who didn't watch it, he left of his own free will. He said until there was a rightful queen or king, he was not needed there, so he just kind of walked out of a scene on House of the Dragon.
Oh, he did, huh?
Yeah, I remember he was talking to the lady in... What am I forgetting her name? The lady in green. They were in their little thing, and he was just
she's the queen.
Yes, and they were ordering him to do something, and he's like, well, actually, until I have a direct who's ever in line of succession, I'm not helping anybody.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then he just walked out, and that's the last we saw of him. And apparently that is the last we will see of him, because he's not in the upcoming season.
But in Outlander, he died.
No, he didn't. Dougal? Yeah. I just got his name back. I was like, wow. No, he didn't die. It was just said that he was I thought he was on the run, because after that whole thing with the witchy lady who sacrificed herself in the end for Claire, the girlfriend.
Yeah, he died.
Maybe it'll be a flashback then?
Maybe, yeah.
Who killed him?
It was the redcoats.
Oh, okay. I didn't even realize he died. So yeah, maybe it will just be a flashback then. Game of Thrones is getting another prequel about Dunk and Egg and their adventures as they wander Westeros. So this will be set 100 years before the events of the novels. So Dunk is the future commander of the Kingsguard, and Egg is the future King Aeon V.
Oh, really?
I admit I don't remember them at all in Game of Thrones or them being referenced, so I wasn't ringing any bells when I read this news. But that's cool to know he's the future king of Aeon V. I'm like, oh, got it. Okay.
Huh.
Mia Goth has joined Marvel's Blade movie alongside new star Mahershala Ali. We've been hearing about this Blade movie for a while. I can't believe it still hasn't been filmed, but it's still upcoming to come out next year, and there should be start filming it later this year. Again, this is a retelling of the old movies that used to star Wesley Snipes. So now Mahershala Ali is now in the role.
So they're remaking Blade, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And they had him film a cameo at the end of the Eternals, and that's so to kind of introduce him. But then they didn't get on it right away. They were originally supposed to have like his movie come out like shortly thereafter, and it just never materialized really enough. So
can we just back up for a second?
Yeah.
We have not heard, am I correct, about season 2, House of the Dragon?
Just so they started filming.
But that's it, but there's no release date.
No.
Okay.
We're although they're pretty sure it won't be till next year.
Yeah, because
all the effects they still have to do.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, as long as it's coming back, I don't care.
Yes, it's coming back. Natasha Rothwell is returning as Belinda for White Lotus Season 3.
Yay!
For those who forgot, she was last in Season 1, starring alongside Jennifer Coolidge as kind of her beleaguered helper. Like, she just always wanted to talk to her. She thought she was so helpful. And then she was going to help her, get her own spa going, which never happened. Unfortunately, kind of jerked her around. So it'll be interesting to see what she's doing or up to in Season 3 at the new location, which... Again, we already mentioned, but we'll be in Thailand.
I wonder if there's some money left to her.
That would be wonderful if that ends up being, and she's like, what? This lady actually left me something?
Right,
That would be cool.
She remembered because she didn't give her anything.
Right, yeah.
So
that would be cool if that's if that's what happened. So maybe she'll end up being a guest, not even a worker. Maybe she's a guest at an actual one. That would be cool. So Juno Tempo, who currently stars on Ted Lasso, has been cast in the lead role in Venom 3. Again, another movie I didn't realize they were going to make a third one, but apparently they are. They're making a third one, so.
Yeah, I saw the first one. I did not see the second one.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
I don't know why. See, I keep thinking we're seeing these things. I must have seen that with Tasia.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Tasia's our other friend.
So I guess between her, Tasia, and Missy, that most of my movies are seen. Truth Be Told has been canceled on Apple TV. It had 3 seasons, and now it is done.
Yeah.
I still have not watched any of the 3rd season, but I never finished season 2 though either.
So I did. I watched season 3.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, not completely, but I did start it. And
what was the story of it? I know Gabrielle Union was in it, but other than that, I never knew the story.
The little girl that went missing. She was a youngster, but she wasn't. There's like several young girls that went missing, and one of them,
like in a neighborhood, or okay.
She was a runaway. They found her. She came back, but then she went missing again. And their whole thing is that she's not getting the media attention that she should.
Oh, okay.
But she, there was.
There's no mystery in that one.
Well, I'm not there yet. The thing is that she. I don't think I'm spoiling anything, but she does. So she's gone, and everybody's trying to find her. But then, of course, she calls Poppy, and now there's a story around it that now they're
okay. So there is some mystery in there.
Yeah,
there's not sure what that one.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay.
But I'm bummed it's canceled because I love that series.
I feel like 3 seasons seems to be the thing on Apple. So, because Ted Lasso's on its 3rd and final season, so I can.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so maybe that's just the thing they don't want to do more than 3.
So was no. How many episodes was that?
Although technically.
Do you know what I'm talking
Although
about?
the morning show's coming back, and that's the 3rd season. I guess we won't know if they're going to cancel it till that because it hasn't been said yet. That's the last season.
Right.
So I guess we'll see. It'll come back, and then after it airs.
So it'd be the 4th season then, right? Or would it be their 3rd?
I thought it was just their 3rd.
Well, anyway. Sounds good.
And then final news is Perry Gilpin is returning as Ross for the Frasier sequel series on Paramount Plus. So yay, they keep announcing people, and that's cool. We still need to hear about, oh gosh, who was I know I asked this last time, the housekeeper. She hasn't been announced as coming back. Didn't you say she married the brother in the end?
Yeah.
Okay. So she still hasn't been announced, but this is cool, getting his sidekick on the radio show back.
Right. Yes.
So that's news to look forward to. Okay, folks. Yes, we know we've been off for the last 3 weeks. So apologies. So for movies and TV shows out, we're gonna first do the past 2 weeks, and then we will do what's coming out this week. So first up, we have Renfield. This was in theaters starring Nicholas Hoult, Nicolas Cage, and Awkwafina. So Renfield, the tortured aide to his narcissistic boss Dracula, is forced to procure his master's prey and do his every bidding. However, after centuries of servitude, he's ready to see if there's a life outside the shadow of the Prince of Darkness. This is one I do want to see. I feel like I won't get to see it in theaters, or I'll just wait till at home, which is fine. But I do want to see it. I like anything about Dracula.
I do too.
So,
and I haven't seen it either, but it's funny. Right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a comedy. Yeah,
so.
It's supposed to be a comedy. So yes,
you get a little of both. Yay!
Then we have Mafia Mama. This is in theaters and stars Toni Collette and Monica Bellucci. So a mild-mannered suburban mom unexpectedly inherits her late grandfather's mafia empire in Italy. Guided by the firm's trusted consigliere, if I'm saying that right, she hilariously defies everyone's expectations as she finds herself stuck in the middle of a deadly mob war. This looks cute. It's not, I would see it again once it's eventually hit streaming. It's something I would, that's like, oh yeah, I can see this in theaters like now.
Uh-huh.
But it looks cute. I'm a Toni Collette fan, so I'm sure I'll see it eventually. Then we have Florida Man. This is a new series on Netflix starring Edgar Ramirez, Clark Gregg, and Abby Lee. So a disgraced cop is forced to return to his home state of Florida for a shady mission, only to get swept up in a treasure hunt. I saw the trailer when I was scrolling through Netflix. I'm not sure on this if I'm interested. It didn't draw me in right away from watching it.
Right,
It looked confusing, honestly, but...
No, I agree, because it was not... Yeah, it didn't grab me either, so...
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I may have to hear more about it. Then we have The Last Thing He Told Me. This is the new series on Apple TV starring Jennifer Garner, Nikolai Coster-Waldau, and Gori Rice. So Hannah must forge a relationship with her 16-year-old stepdaughter, Bailey, to find the truth behind why her husband has mysteriously disappeared. I will watch this. I think we mentioned before, this is based off a book that was part of Reese Witherspoon's book club, which Rochelle read. I never did read it, but I'm probably just going to watch this and have to read the book later and compare it that way to see how it measures up. Then we have Renovations. This is a series on Disney Plus with Jeremy Renner. So it is like a docuseries. So Jeremy Renner teams up with expert builders to acquire large decommissioned government vehicles and reimagine them as mind-blowing creations that serve in communities worldwide. This sounds really cool. I'd probably check it out just to see what it is that he builds.
Renner.
I know. It's really cool. He obviously filmed this before he got in his accident, everybody. But yeah, I think it'll be cool. I think it's only like a 5-episode thing when I looked into it. So, and they're all out on Disney Plus. There's no waiting weekly or anything like that. So I'll have to check it out and see how it looks. Then finally, we have The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel for week 1. This is out season 5 on Amazon with Rachel Brosnahan. This is its final season, a show I never watched, but then it was never, I could tell this wasn't my cup of tea, so I never bothered to, about a stand-up female comedian in the 50s or 60s or something.
Right,
so,
yeah.
Anyway, so for last week, we have Evil Dead Rise. This is in theaters with Alyssa Sutherland and Lily Sullivan, and Alyssa is not related to Kiefer, because I looked that up. I was wondering. Anyway, a reunion between two estranged sisters gets cut short by the rise of flesh-possessing demons, thrusting them into primal battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish versions of family imaginable.
Woo!
Not interested. Since I saw the trailer, I was like, that's a negative for me, because, I don't like horror to this degree.
Yes.
So, I'm like,
sounds
that's a no.
good to me.
Then we have The Covenant in theaters with Jake Gyllenhaal and Dar Salim. So during the war in Afghanistan, a local interpreter risks his own life to carry an injured sergeant across miles of grueling terrain. I thought the trailer on this looked good when we originally talked about it, so I won't see it in theaters, but I once it gets to a streaming, I would definitely watch this. It looks good. Then we have Beau is Afraid. This is in theaters starring Joaquin Phoenix, Michael Gandolfini, and Patti LuPone, who, I just have a side note, I just saw where she was on Watch What Happens Live, and she was like asked about Kim Kardashian being on American Horror Story, and she is not happy about it.
Yeah, right? I know.
She is old school, and she was like, I don't like reality people trying to take away jobs from acting people, basically.
Oh.
Was her take on it. She's like, I'm just not a fan of that.
She's probably not going to be good. I don't know.
So she didn't specify whether she's in that season, because Patty has been in multiple seasons of American Horror Story. I don't know if she's going to be in her season. She might drop out just because. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Anyway, so from Ari Aster, director of Hereditary and Midsommar, from his darkest fears comes the greatest adventure. I have to say, this looked weird, and then until I hadn't seen the trailer until recently, and I was like, oh, I honestly didn't realize it was supposed to be scary.
Really?
And I didn't realize it, but it is. It's like a scary thriller type of, I was like, oh.
Not kidding.
Which Joaquin has never done. So I was like, oh, okay, this is different than what I thought it was supposed to be.
Huh.
Yeah. There's something wrong with his mother. Like, there's something wrong there.
Well, I can see him in something like that.
Yeah, it's just funny he's never done one before. But yeah, so check that out. Then we have Chevalier. This is also in theaters with starring Kelvin Harrison Jr., Samara Weaving, and Lucy Boynton. So the illegitimate son of an African slave and a French plantation owner, Joseph Boulogne, rises to improbable heights in French society as a celebrated violinist/composer and fencer, complete with a love affair and falling out with Marie Antoinette.
Oh.
Which I actually found, when I heard that, I was like, that's fascinating. So he had favor because he was friends with her, and then, he had a falling out, then she was, beheaded later anyway, so whatever.
It's all good.
Right? But I had never heard of, I've heard the name Chevalier, I don't think, I just never had looked into the background of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's cool. It's something I wouldn't bother trying to get see in theaters, but
And
I would
it's serious,
watch it.
right? It's not a comedy.
No, it's just straight serious.
Okay.
Then we have The Diplomat. This is a new series on Netflix starring Kerry Russell. So the series centers on Kate Weiler, the new U.S. ambassador to the United Kingdom, as she has to diffuse international crises, forge strategic alliances in London, and adjust to her new place in the spotlight while also trying to survive her marriage to fellow career diplomat Hal Weiler. I do want to watch this. This actually does look interesting.
Yes, in fact, I was having issues with Netflix for some reason, and I tried to start watching it. It could not get it to play, but now it's all good. No problem there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So I do want to check that out. Then we have Ghosted. This is a new movie on Netflix starring Chris Evans and Ana de Armas. So Cole falls head over heels for enigmatic Sadie, but then makes the shocking discovery that she's a secret agent. Before they can decide on a second date, Cole and Sadie are swept away on an international adventure to save the world. I did watch this, and I will talk about this and what we watched. Then we have Mrs. Davis. This is a series on Peacock starring Patty Gilpin, who I've been a fan of since that series Glow. You guys know I'm still mad that ever got canceled. Anyway, so this is a faith versus technology, follows an epic battle of biblical and binary proportions. This looks very weird. It's basically like an AI. When I watch the trailer, it's like an AI is kind of telling people what to do, and her job as the nun, somehow she gets involved with trying to stop it. I'm very curious as to how, as a nun, she gets involved in trying to stop it. It looks like it's part comedy, part action, so yeah, I'll definitely check it out. It was on Peacock though, so only like the first 2 episodes are released, and it's a weekly release. And then finally for last week, we have Dead Ringers. This is the new series on Amazon starring Rachel Weisz. So twin gynecologists Elliot and Beverly Mantle perform ethically questionable procedures on infertile women. Now, I was wondering if this was a remake of a movie I'd seen back in like the 90s, and indeed it is. It was a movie that starred Jeremy Irons as the twins gynecologist. So this is basically a female take on it. It was weird. I never even got through it because it weirded me out so freaking much.
No kidding.
It was done by David Cronenberg, who was always doing that weird crap back in the day. Like he did that movie like The Cell with Jennifer Lopez. He did The Fountain with Brad Pitt. He was like he always did the weirdest. And so, I mean, I checked it out because I was a Jeremy Irons fan back then. I couldn't get through it because I was like, nope, I was bugged. I just was bugged. It was just a little too, made you, like, it did make you think, but I don't want to think about what I was thinking.
Right, yes. I did like Dead Ringers. I did like that one.
You've seen it? Oh, okay. Yes. I was like, anyway.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, and they were just, I mean,
one
twin was like sadistic in it, but, they were like, they kept like pretending to be the other, like in a relationship they're both having with the same woman. I was like, I don't know, like at the time, I get it. I was young. It probably wouldn't bug me as much now, but I was like, everything about this is bugging me. I don't like it. Anyway, so now it's a TV series.
The same? Is it going to be?
It's a TV series now.
It's a series.
And now, like I said, the twins, still the same names, Elliot and Beverly. Weirdly enough, there was the same names as he had, but from a female point of view. So I don't know if the basics are the same, or maybe they're also pretending sometimes to be each other. I don't know. So I'm on the fence.
So who's going to play the twin guy, the gynecologist?
It's Rachel. It's Rachel Weisz.
Oh, Rachel. See, was it dude? Yeah, it was Jeremy Irons.
Right. That's what I was saying. It's a female take on it.
Weird?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Oh, okay. Yep.
So we'll have to see.
Interesting. I'll give it a ringer. I'll give it a
watch. Yeah, you watch it and let me know if I'm safe to venture. Anyway.
We do have to mention The Pope's Exorcist came out last week.
Was that last week?
Yeah, it was the 14th.
Oh.
Or was that 2 weeks ago?
I guess I just didn't have it written down.
Yeah. In fact, I was going to go see it and for my son's birthday, and that it didn't happen, but I cannot wait.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to go see it. Maybe Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So for this week, we have Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. This will be in theaters with Rachel McAdams, Kathy Bates, and Abby Ryder Forston. So raised by a Christian mother and a Jewish father, an adolescent girl starts to ask questions about religion and faith. Most people have read this book as a kid. This is
it does look pretty cute.
Yeah, it does look cute.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I like Rachel McAdams and Kathy Bates.
Right?
So,
yeah. Some of the lines in the trailer got me with Kathy Bates. I was like, she's funny. Then we have Big George Foreman. This is in theaters starring Chris Davis, Forrest Whitaker, and Jasmine Matthews. So from Olympic gold medalist to world heavyweight champion, boxer George Foreman leads a remarkable life. He finds his faith, retires, and becomes a preacher. When financial hardship hits the family and church, George steps back into the ring and regains the championship at age 45, becoming the oldest heavyweight champion in boxing history.
Right.
I never knew much about his background. I think, like I said, when we looked at the trailer, I didn't know about the man until he came out with his girls. And it was my parents who were like, you didn't know this guy used to box? I'm like, why would I know this guy used to box? It's like, I don't care about that stuff. Anyway, he obviously stopped boxing before the Mike Tyson era. That's when I started noticing who boxers even were. So anyways, I do think it looks interesting. Will I try and run to see it in a theater? No, I would just wait till it's
Right, I agree.
Then we have Peter Pan and Wendy. This is a movie on Disney Plus starring Alexander Maloney, Ever Anderson, and Yara Shahidi. So Wendy Darling, a young girl looking to avoid boarding school, meets Peter Pan, a boy who refuses to grow up. Wendy, her brothers, and Tinkerbell travel with Peter to the magical world of Neverland, where she encounters an evil pirate captain. So yeah, another Peter Pan retelling. I'm just over them. I don't care. This is not one I care to watch, but I've seen enough versions of Peter Pan to last the rest of my life. I'm good on that.
I think it all ends the same.
Right? I mean, you can say this one is, I guess, since it's called Peter Pan and Woody, it's focusing on just the two of them, but Tinkerbell is in there, but
yeah,
I'm good.
I agree.
I'm good. Then we have Love and Death. This is a series on HBO Max starring Elizabeth Olsen, Lily Rabe, and Jesse Plemons. So two church-going couples enjoy small-town family life in Texas until somebody picks up an axe. Now, your ears are not deceiving you. This is a second retelling of the Candy Montgomery murder. So the first one came out earlier, maybe it was last year, sorry, that had Jessica Biel in the lead role of Candy. This time it's Elizabeth Olsen, so it's the same story, it's just always a different version of it. The other one was on Hulu, this is HBO Max.
Okay.
I never watched the other one. Stuff like this, I can watch it once and then I really don't ever want to rewatch it again, because I thought this would be interesting to see who plays it better,
right.
Elizabeth Olsen or Jessica Biel, but I'm like, I'm only going to be able to watch this once. And I kind of slightly like Elizabeth Olsen better, so this is probably the one I would check out.
Yeah.
since I never watched the other one.
I don't think I watched the other one.
You didn't watch the other one on Hulu?
No.
No? Okay. So I'm going to check this one out. Then we have Clock. This is a movie on Hulu starring Diana Aragon, Jay Ali, and Melora Hardin. So a woman enrolls in a clinical trial to try and fix her seemingly broken biological clock after friends, family, and society pressures her to have children. Now, don't let the title fool you. This is what it's about. This is, again, is something once you watch the trailer, you realize it's like a horror movie.
What?
It's true. This lady, played by Diana Aragon, doesn't want children, but she agrees to try for her husband's sake. So she goes to get all these tests run, and then it looks like crazy stuff starts to happen once she gets into some like IVF trial thing.
Ah, no kidding.
When I say crazy stuff, I mean like horror related. Like she starts seeing things. It's like people are attacking her. I was like,
oh my.
Nothing like putting horror into childbirth to make someone really not want to do it. It's like, what is this?
It is pretty horrific.
I'm just like, okay.
It can be.
I was like, no, thank you. Then we have Fatal Attraction. Yes, there's a remake of Fatal Attraction, people, in series form. So this is a new series on Paramount Plus, starring Joshua Jackson in the Michael Douglas role and Lizzie Kaplan in the Glenn Close role. So an affair threatens the lives of Dan Gallagher and his wife Beth in this reimagining of the 1987 movie, exploring marriage and infidelity through the lens of modern attitudes towards strong women, personality disorders, and coercive control. I'm just curious enough, though, probably to look at and see how they do this. Watching the trailer, you already know, this isn't a spoiler, it starts with Dan getting out of jail for her murder, which I'm like, oh, that's a different way to do it. He's getting, after 15 years, he served his 15 years for killing his lover. But he said, he's like, I'm getting out, but I'm going to prove I didn't kill her at all.
Oh.
I was basically framed.
That's a different twist.
I was framed for it. So basically it's trying to pick up where the movie ended, technically, where we never saw what happened besides her dying.
Right.
It just kind of stopped there.
Yeah.
So they're trying to say that after that happened, he was arrested and prosecuted for her murder.
Gosh.
But the trailer shows that he's like, yeah, I'm going to prove I didn't do this, and then it does like a flashback to the relationship.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay. I am a Joshua Jackson fan. I have been since the Dawson Creek days. I have been. So anyway, I will definitely check this out. And then finally, we have Citadel. This is a new series on Amazon starring Priyanka Chopra and Richard Madden from Game of Thrones.
Uh-huh.
When I say these two attractive people look really good together, I was like, what the? When I saw the trailer, I was like...
No, I know, right?
Whatever. So the global spy agency Citadel has fallen and the memory of its agents has been erased. Now the powerful Manticore crime syndicate is filling the power vacuum. Citadel agents must remember their past and find the strength to fight back.
Oh.
This is from the Russo brothers, who did the Avengers movies and last year's The Gray Man movie with Ryan Gosling. So anyway, it does look good. Also has Stanley Tucci in it, so I didn't mention him, but
I like Stanley Tucci.
yeah, but it looks like it said two very attractive people in a relationship, but also spies. What's not to love, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but that's fine. That's what everybody, when I saw that, I was like, this is like a different version of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, kind of.
Oh, no.
But they've lost their memory.
Well, it looks like Priyanka Chopra is going to
It's like, oh no, don't cheat, people.
Yeah, please no cheating.
Don't cheat. I mean...
Even though I called it on the first one. On the first one, on the Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Right. So, that would be so weird. Hopefully nothing actually happens. But I'm like, Richard's attractive. He just
had a baby not that long ago. A year ago?
Right.
Huh.
And Nick is just all about her. I'm like, whenever he does interviews, he's so loving. I was like, holy crap.
And
he's
so
older? Into her. 6 years.
Is it that much? I thought it was a couple, but yeah.
Yeah, because she's 36. He's 30.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah.
Look it up. Oh, Richard Madden. Yes.
Yes, Richard's very,
Oh.
and, yep. Anyway,
Yeah.
So that looks good. I will check this out. It's on Amazon, but unfortunately I think it is one of the Amazon series that's going to be released weekly and not all at once.
Oh,
Dang
shoot.
it, which, we hate. But anyway.
I hate that.
So such good things these past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Lots to catch up on all around. Okay, so what we've been watching this past few weeks, I will admit, not very much. So I did watch the Ghosted movie on Apple TV with Chris Evans and Anna de Armas. It was entertaining. It wasn't super funny. I just found it like a cute, like almost rom-com-ish again, but not being. It wasn't very funny. It had a lot of action. It honestly, I loved seeing Chris Evans as the one that didn't have any type of like superhero. Like he was just the everyday man. He wasn't playing the superhero, which he usually does. So, but I found it cute. It was entertaining. Just a basic story. She's the one having to save him in multiple instances. There were some cameos, cameos from Marvel people in the movie. Some of his Marvel cohorts. That was cool. That was cool. But I just really liked it. I mean, basic story. He meets her character at a farmer's market. Because he's helping his sister run it because she had to run an errand, and she comes across it. She's just in town because a fellow agent had died, and so she had been at a funeral. They meet cute. She's like, let's hang out for the day. They hook up. It went well, and then he wants a second date with her, but she's already left. But he leaves her like 11 messages, which is why she never calls him back. But he decides to surprise her in London because he knew that's where she would be, and then that's where the crazy action ensues because he's kidnapped, and from there we're off to the races. So like I said, it was entertaining. It just wasn't like as funny as I was hoping it would be, but it was still I did like it. I would say I would give this a 3 out of 5 wine corks. It is worth your time. It'll quick 90 minutes honestly.
That's not bad.
It's on a or actually an hour and 40 minutes, but still it's a quick. It went by really fast. I didn't notice the time. And then I also watched The Marked Heart. This was season 2 on Netflix. I don't know if you guys remember, and I didn't even know this was coming out with season 2. But this was another of my Spanish telenovelas, series. I was like, when I was just scrolling, it was like, oh my gosh, they had a second season coming out. I saw nowhere where this was happening, you guys. So I was very excited because the first season ended on a cliffhanger. I'll just say with someone faking their death. So when I saw, I was like, oh my gosh, I can take. So anyway, I really enjoyed this series. I mean, I have to, and I'm not someone who wants to read subtitles, but I do because it's Spanish.
Oh, for sure.
But I will because I enjoyed it. And it ended on a good note, so I don't see it coming back for a 3rd season. I don't see where it would go. This had a very close ending. But the basic story on this is there's a woman, she's had a heart condition all her life. She ends up passing out on her wedding day. Her husband, who does love her, he just goes about it the wrong way. Anyway, he ends up going to an illegal organ place to get her the heart. And this illegal place, doesn't just do it the regular way. No, unfortunately kill people in order to get so he ends up killing this other guy's wife. The organ ends up in order to get the heart. In order to get the heart for this lady. And so when she's all fixed and better and she's asking the husband questions about it and he won't answer her, she just goes digging on her own and figures out who the heart belongs to. No. And so that's basically where the craziness ensues because she meets up with the husband, never tells the other girl's husband who she is, even though he figures it out, in the end. But yeah, it's just it's a crazy story. It's a good story. Telling really, which I'm sure it really happens. Obviously, it happens, but I mean, telling you more about how it goes on behind the scenes in terms of people who do these organizations trying to get illegal parts for people who are willing to basically pay the price. It's just unfortunately unsuspecting people can get killed. So it's like, oh well, her blood type matches. This is okay. You're tag your type of thing.
What's interesting about that? Just kind of, those were some of my fears by being an organ donor. That they wouldn't, try to save me or gonna, just let you go. And I know that's silly, but it is kind of like, hey, we got us an organ donor. If things go south. But I am an organ donor, and I don't think that would happen. But it's just funny that's kind of what this is about.
I am now
so
early in life,
right?
Oh no, it's a straight drama.
Okay.
And I only recently, I say recently, in the last 3 years, became an organ donor because it was just like doing it at 16. In my mind, I kept thinking I was jinxing myself for something to happen, so that's why I didn't want to claim myself as an organ donor back in the day. But I am now, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. If you want it, take it.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And I'll just lastly mention, I won't go into a full talk about it until tomorrow, but I did watch the first 2 episodes of Schmigadoon. Loving it so far. Still super funny. once it gets, I'm gonna do like half the season before I go really comment on it. But so far, so good. On the second season of Schmigadoon in Chicago, it was hilarious. Let me just say. Anyways, that's what I've done.
Awesome. Well, like you, I've watched a lot. I just don't remember everything that I watched because I've done a lot of, watching other things like some sports and that type of thing. But I did watch The Last Thing You Told Me, and I thought it followed the book really well. Okay. So, and Jennifer Garner, she played this drama really well. I thought the characters fit just fine, and I liked it. I would say 3 wine corks, but I did like the book. So
okay.
And then me and documentaries. I started watching American Manhunt, the Boston Marathon bombers.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's it goes into so much depth because they found these guys so quickly. I remember watching it live, like they, I
remember when they found the dude in the boat, but that's the only one I remember.
Oh yeah. No, I remember I was like listening, or I was at my computer and I was watching, the marathon. Just it started. Then they were 2 hours into it, and then the explosions happened, and they were by the finish line. And they actually talked to the survivors of this, and wow, I mean, to be honest, that much footage, and people filming, and the fact that they were known as White Hat and Dark Hat, the brothers, but the fact that they even caught them on video and the bag itself, the backpack, was just amazing. Mm-hmm. And just what went into the investigative work that went into this. In fact, just a little bit about it is that there was this big scuttlebutt of, are we going to release the photos of these guys? Because some wanted to do it, others didn't want to do it because they thought it would ruin their chances of finding them. But they ended up releasing it, obviously. So yeah, super crazy, but it's a great documentary. So if you want to watch a good one, that's a good one.
Okay, cool. Is that it for you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've watched other stuff, but I started watching Truth Be Told, but I haven't finished that at all.
Oh, okay.
But I love those series, and I'm bummed that they're not coming back. So.
No.
Yeah.
They gotta keep bringing more and more on. I guess that's so they gotta get rid of older ones to make stuff for new. Anyway, all right. Well, some good review options for you. Now it's time for some movie trailer talk. It's been a bit since we had some of these.
Yeah.
So first up, we have The Marvels. This is a sequel to Captain Marvel, but this will be out November 10th, starring Brie Larson, Tiana Paris, and Iman Vellani, who is from the TV series Ms. Marvel on Disney+. Just FYI if you haven't watched it. You will have to watch it for this show. I'm just FYI if you haven't. You'll be a little lost as to who this character is if you do not watch the TV series. I'm telling you that
You
right
have to
now.
watch which TV series?
Miss Marvel.
Oh, Miss Marvel?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's with Brie Larson, right?
So Miss Marvel is with Iman Vellani.
Oh.
So you obviously have to watch Captain Marvel, the first movie.
Oh my gosh.
That's Brie Larson. Now Tiana Paris, she was last seen in WandaVision, which you've seen.
Yes.
So that's good. Because she was playing the agent that was helping Wanda, or trying to help Wanda. Anyway, and then at the end of that is when she got her powers, if you remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And then Iman Vellani, like I said, she was in the series Ms. Marvel. They called her that because she loves Captain Marvel so much. She's like her number one fan. And then when she got her powers, a lot of it rivaled what Captain Marvel could do. So that's how kind of she gets her. But watching the trailer, it features Imani's family heavily. So you really do need to watch the series to kind of get what's going on there. In my opinion. Maybe not, but my opinion. Anyway, this was just a teaser, so it didn't tell you much about the story. It looked like basically...
Yeah, well, I'm glad it's just a teaser because it didn't grab me.
Yeah, it didn't tell you much was going on. It's like...
it was like all the fight scenes. Blah, and then
yeah, so...
And maybe some funny stuff, and I was like, oh, geez.
What I do find interesting is that it looks like every time someone uses a power, they keep switching where they are. I do think that's an interesting concept. So it's like it starts out with Captain Rambo, who's Tiana. She's exploring something, and if you remember from WandaVision, she always would touch stuff she shouldn't. So when she touched whatever was out there in space, I'm like, really? Anyway, so she touched it. She flipped somewhere else, and then all of a sudden, Imani is in front of in front of Nick Fury, who she's a big fan of. If you see your series, you'll know. And then you see Captain Marvel appear in her bedroom, which that actually was the ending scene from the TV series. So that's cool. They added that back in. And later again, when she's at her family's home, Rambo and Fury are visiting her. She goes to show them the power, and then she gets flipped onto a spaceship, which is where Captain Marvel was. So I was like, oh, I do kind of like that, because you got to remember, the reason they left Captain Marvel out of a lot of the Avengers is because her power is really good. I mean, she kind of brought it home, if you think about it, in the very last Avengers. It was like when she showed up, that's kind of like, because she can fly, she can zap things, or a lot of, so it was kind of like with her power, it's like, they probably would have won a lot quicker, but I guess that was on purpose to keep her out of the fight. So this way, having her still there, but her powers are glitching, it makes sense why she may need help. Otherwise, she really doesn't need any help with how they made her made her power. So I'm quite interested. I really did like the series Miss Marvel. I thought she was very. She's a newbie. This was her first acting job, and you can tell it just in interviews. Even she's so grateful and humble about the whole thing that it kind of I think comes through in like her performance. She's just genuinely excited to be there, and so when she's fangirling in the movie and then the TV show, you're like you get it.
Yeah,
it's
that's
really
good.
Cool. So I will see this. I said we just need to see a longer trailer so we see more about it. Then we have The Last Voyage of Demeter. This will be out August 11th, starring David Dastmalchian. Sorry, I'm butchering that. Corey Hawkins and Liam Cunningham. So, again, we're looking at Dracula stuff.
That looks awesome.
It does look good.
I think the trailer looks so good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah.
I just think it's so funny. It's like everything old is new again. Like Peter Pan, let's keep bringing out some Dracula stuff. Although, because I am more into Dracula than I ever was Peter Pan, it's like, it's fine. I'll keep watching them. I'll keep watching anything based on
Dracula, they can do different Draculas. It's interesting to see what they come up with the different Draculas.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
So, like, what was the one, which is an amazing fight scene? It was... Well, it'll come to me. Anyway. Yeah.
Was it? Was it? Oh, that wasn't it. I was about to say, was it Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter? But that wasn't it. But I like that movie.
But, yeah.
That wasn't it.
No, but it was where Evangeline Lilly was in it, and she was. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Y'all are probably screaming, telling me what the movie was called, but it was. And Hugh, not Hugh Grant. Oh my gosh.
Oh, are you talking about Van Helsing?
Yes, Van Helsing. My heavens. Yes, I loved that fight scene in there between the werewolf and Dracula.
I was in this movie so long, I don't remember.
Yeah, and every time, and I love it. Every time it comes on, I'll be channel surfing or something, and it'll pop up, and I'm like, Van Helsing! Click, and I watch it.
I must admit, I don't think I realized Evangeline Lilly was in it.
Is it Evangeline Lilly? Maybe not. Yeah.
Okay.
No, what? Shoot. Not Evangeline. Yeah, I think it is Evangeline Lilly. Dang it. Anyway, she's super...
It's not Kate Beckinsale?
It is Kate Beckinsale. Sorry,
okay.
I had it confused.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it is Kate Beckinsale.
Just double check. I'm like, I feel like it's somebody else, but like, maybe...
Yeah, no, it is. It's Kate Beckinsale. Evangeline Lilly was in Ant-Man.
Yes.
So, sorry.
No, it's okay. They have similar features.
They do. They do kind of look alike.
Yeah, so it's okay. Anyway, so yes, this one looks good as well. So I'm like, I will watch it. Probably not in theaters, but I will watch it. And then finally, the sequel no one knew was coming, but is here. It was the Equalizer 3. This will be out September 1st, starring a returning Denzel Washington and Dakota Fanning joining the fray. This, of course, will mark the first time they've worked together since she was a kid in Man on Fire.
Oh,
I think that's so cute. I remember that movie. I seriously, it broke me. It did. The ending, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. Anyway, so I think it's really cool that she's in it, and I like these movies. Like I said, this was a surprise that they were making a third one because it has been. I think when we looked it up, it's been 6 or 7 years now since.
Yes.
Or 7 or 8, sorry, since the last one came out. So I think this is great. They're trying to do a trilogy and finish it out. But he's just great. He's just believable. The thinking man's action hero is how I like to think of it.
Oh my gosh! When I started watching this, I'm like, oh, the dude doesn't change. He's just so. I just love him. I know I've mentioned that before. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, his wife is so lucky. I mean, anytime she wants to get rid of him, she can throw him my way.
Right? I doubt that. She has to have seen what's out there, so she's probably like,
but you know what? I'm bummed I didn't see Equalizer 2. I don't know how I missed that. Or maybe I did and I just don't remember. But yeah, I'm going back to watch that. This is definitely something I'm going to see. Yeah, definitely. This looks really good. So this time around, so he's in Italy and he is going to kick some butt there to protect his newfound friends. In his community that he's adopted, so we are here for it. Yes. So, yep. Anyway, 3 good options as far as I'm concerned. So more to look forward to for the year. All right. Well, I think that's all we have to chat about. I mean, I think we got pretty caught up. Thanks so much for listening, and we had fun as usual. So please give us a review or comment. It really does help us out. Please follow us on Instagram at movies_munchies_moscato. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging. Thank you, guys.